Chapter 51, The Annihilation of the Seven Ninja Swordsmen. You are listening at novelfull.audio. No, there's something wrong with this kid. Seeing his beheading sword being smashed into pieces, Biwa Juzo's eyes shrank, and he quickly jumped back to separate himself from Link. Judging from the damage to the beheading sword, if the blow had landed on him, he would have been paralyzed. Missed hidden technique. The other 6 people on the side saw this scene and instantly realized that Link was not easy to mess with, and immediately used their mist hidden village's proud ninjutsu to create an advantageous environment for themselves. For a moment, the entire area was covered by a thick white fog. Asuma. Leave it to me. Wind style, Konoha whirlwind blows away the fog. Asuma's body spun at high speed like a gyroscope, and a violent gust of wind blew the nearby white fog out of a large open space. What kind of technique is this? Although this ninjutsu doesn't look like a ninjutsu, and the physical technique doesn't look like a physical technique, the effect is indeed very good. The mist-hidden art that they had just spent a lot of chakra on was easily broken. Of course, this was also because they did not expect that there was a wind-style ninja in the opponent's team. I'll deal with Link, and the rest is up to you. The Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost rushed towards Link with Samahata in his hand. Samahata can not only absorb the opponent's chakra for its own use, but also use the large amount of chakra stored in Samahata to stimulate the regeneration of body cells. To put it bluntly, he is much stronger than his colleagues. Anyway, Link himself is just a chunin, and his teammates are just genin rookies. Since he already knew that Link was difficult, he would try to delay him first, and wait until his partners killed the rest of the genin team members, and then they would fight a righteous 7 against 1. Isn't this victory easy to win? You want to stop me alone? Seeing the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost rushing towards him alone, Link sneered. Since training with Might Guy, he has been as good as an average jonin simply by relying on his physical fitness. In the state of 8 gates, his strength and speed have been further improved, and he has truly reached a point that is difficult for the naked eye of a ninja who has not undergone special training to capture. Boom. Link's figure instantly appeared next to Kurikoa Kushimaru, who was holding the long sword and sewing needle, armed Lilianhua. This is a move that Link combined with Lilianhua shown by Shaoli in the original work and the armed color domineering in the pirate world. In an instant, his fist light turned into a residual image. Boom boom boom. Countless fist shadows fell on Kurikoa Kushimaru, making a series of ola 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 sounds. Kurikoa Kushimaru was still a human being, but was beaten into a pool of rotten meat by Link. Link, are you so powerful? In the distance, Yuhi Kurenai looked at Link in disbelief. The 7 ninja swordsmen are the absolute elite force of Kirigakure, and their individual strengths are basically at the level of elite jonin. If Link could kill the other party, doesn't that mean that his strength has surpassed the elite jonin, and may even have reached the level of Kage? Thinking of this, Yuhi Kurenai suddenly felt that the rumor that was circulating in Konoha might be true. Is senior brother Link so powerful? It seems that I can't stop here. Asuma's eyes were blazing with fire, and he actually held a giant chakra knife and found the blunt knife Duki holder, Tsurugi Yato, and started fighting. What surprised the 7 ninja swordsmen was that Asuma could actually fight Tsurugi Yato, although he didn't kill a member of the 7 directly like Link, and was even suppressed in the battle with Tsurugi Yato. They really couldn't quickly get rid of Asuma alone. Something's wrong. There's something very wrong. The strength of their team is very wrong. The Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost looked at the situation around him and immediately felt that something was wrong. In addition to Link, Asuma and Might Dai seemed to be equally strong. Although Asuma was suppressed, he could still delay for some time. As for Might Dai, his strength seemed to be even stronger. He also burst out steam similar to that of Link, and suppressed the owner of the explosive blade foam, Mori Shinpachi. As for the remaining Kurenai Yuhi, she knew that her strength would not be of any use in this battle, so she ran to a distant location and used only shuriken to launch long-range attacks, and the 7 ninja swordsmen could not keep up. This battle is not small, and there is no way to get rid of them in a short time. This place is still within the scope of Konoha village. Seeing that Link decisively got rid of a colleague, and then seeing that the remaining colleagues had no way to take down the remaining 2 as soon as possible, the risk avoidance radar in the mind of Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost was instantly activated. Their original plan was to get rid of Link's team as soon as possible in a short time, and then hide again. However, The current situation is very different from the original expectation. Not only did they fail to take down the opponent, but they also lost one person. This means that they may not be able to defeat Link's team, and they will have to face the Konoha ninjas who can come to support them at any time. It's not good, hurry up. Thinking of this, Zigguishun Puffer Ghost immediately realized that the situation was not good. He didn't want to explain the situation to the other teammates, so he ran away directly, fearing that he would not be able to escape if he ran too slowly. No, what's going on? Seeing the Watermelon Mountain Pufferfish Ghost escaping, the rest of the 7 ninja swordsmen suddenly looked confused. They don't have the upper hand yet and are about to kill each other, so why are they running away? Is this Watermelon Mountain Pufferfish Ghost mentally ill? This guy is pretty smart, he's going to run away like this. Seeing the Watermelon Mountain Pufferfish Ghost running away, Link raised his eyebrows. In the original work, after 7 of them fought with Matt Dai with swords, 4 of them were kicked to death by him. The remaining 3 auspicious treasures managed to escape back to Kirigakure village, and this Watermelon Mountain Pufferfish Ghost was one of them. It can only be said that this guy's perception of danger exceeds that of his companions. But I don't want to let him go. It looks like we have to deal with the remaining guys quickly. Link snorted coldly. Since the 7 ninja swordsmen came to his door, there was no reason for him to let them go. Among the 7 ninja swords, Samahata is undoubtedly the one he wants the most. Using Hamonduinjia will cause damage to the body, and Samahata can absorb chakra to stimulate cell regeneration, which is a perfect match. He certainly couldn't let it go. 8 gates of Duinjia, Du Gate opens. Link mobilized chakra throughout his body. The next moment his breath surged again. After noticing Link's aura, the remaining 7 ninja swordsmen suddenly widened their eyes. Only at this moment did they realize that the guy from Watermelon Mountain Pufferfish Ghost was right to run away. Don't worry, after I finish dealing with you, he won't be able to escape. Link showed a fierce smile, and then rushed towards the remaining 7 ninja swordsmen. 5 minutes later. He must have run away now. The Watermelon Mountain Pufferfish Ghost gasped and looked behind him in horror. Not long after he escaped, an extremely terrifying aura erupted next to him. Then he heard the screams of his colleagues. I knew something was wrong. These guys have a conspiracy. The Watermelon Mountain Pufferfish Ghost was glad that he ran fast, otherwise he would have died at the hands of the other party. We must inform Kirigakure village. This Konoha village still cannot afford to offend. Just when he breathed a sigh of relief and planned to continue escaping back to Kirigakure village to report the situation, the next moment there was a sound like hell coming from behind him. Zigguishun Pufferfish Ghost, where do you want to go? Chapter 52 Danzo, it's bad, one step further away from being a Hokage Link and his friends meet agai. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Konoha Village, Hokage Building. Sarutobi Hiruzen was sitting on one side of the desk. He first looked at the mission report in his hand, and then looked at the expressions of Link's team in front of him. Are you sure there is no falsehood in this mission report? Are you sure you didn't kill 7 ordinary Kirigakure? It's no wonder that he didn't believe it. The main reason was that the content of the mission report was too shocking. A mere Chunin team could actually kill the 7 ninja swordsmen who were famous in the entire ninja world. It was hard for him not to doubt whether this mission report was true. Hokage. Link was about to explain, and Asuma beside him pointed at the 7 ninja swords on the table and said impatiently, Old man, even if we can lie, these 7 ninja swords will not lie, right? In the entire ninja world, the number of ninja swords is undoubtedly quite rare. Even the simplest chakra sword that can transmit chakra is very rare, let alone these 7 ninja swords with various special abilities. If there is a craftsman who can forge, then Sarutobi Hiruzen will invite him back to Konoha as soon as possible, protect the other party's safety, and let him help make ninja swords. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded, acknowledging Asuma's words, and at the same time he sighed. It is indeed impossible to be fake, but this is really unexpected. Since the outbreak of the Third Ninja World War, the intelligence he received every day is basically not good news. Either Iwagakure or Kirigakure, I never thought that this time Link's team would bring me such great news. Now that the 7 ninja swordsmen have died and Kirigakure has been seriously injured, in order to avoid being picked by other ninja villages, they will definitely shrink back to the defense line. In this way, Konoha will not be under so much pressure. Well done. Asuma, you have grown a lot, and Link, I really didn't expect you to have such strength to be able to kill the 7 ninja swordsmen. I'm afraid your strength has reached the level of Kage. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Link with a complicated expression. Originally, he had chosen between Orochimaru and Minato Namikaze for the 4th Hokage, but now that Link had killed the 7 ninja swordsmen, Link's contribution was not small. Recalling the rumors in the village, Sarutobi Hiruzen felt that he might be able to train Link to become the 4th Hokage. Hokage, I'm too young to be a Hokage. I still recommend Minato Namikaze. Seeing the expectations and approval in the eyes of the 3rd Hokage, Link suddenly felt a sense of pressure. He himself didn't know whether the rumors were true. In short, he had to express his thoughts first, lest the other party really wanted him to become the 4th Hokage. Is that so? But it's true that you're still too young. Hearing Link's words, Sarutobi Hiruzen felt a little regretful, but nodded in understanding. Maybe Link is very strong now, but being a Hokage requires not only strength, but also political wisdom and insight. As for Link, Sarutobi Hiruzen hoped to bring him to his side for training and strive to become the 5th Hokage in the future. As for the 4th Hokage, he still planned to choose between Minato Namikaze and Orochimaru. As for Danzo, Sarutobi Hiruzen never considered him at all. If he became the Hokage, how could he play the game of you regretting and I becoming the Hokage with him in the future? Danzo looked at the information on the table woodenly without making any response. The content of the information scroll gave him a heavy blow. Not only Orochimaru and Minato Namikaze, who were originally popular candidates, made contributions far greater than his own in the Third Ninja World War. Even Link, who he thought was a smoke bomb thrown by Sarutobi Hiruzen, actually made such a great contribution as destroying the 7 ninja swordsmen. In this way, without enough credit, does this mean that he is one step further away from the position of Hokage? That night, Danzo stayed awake all night. I plan to have a good talk with the 3rd generation elder tomorrow. In contrast to Danzo, Link is lying in bed early. After killing the 7 ninja swordsmen, he used the excuse that opening the 8 gates would damage his body to buy a period of rest for the team. In the next period of time, he can continue to practice with peace of mind for a while. In order to be in a better state of practice tomorrow, he must sleep for 12 hours. That night, Link slept soundly without any burden. In his dream, Link's consciousness was infinitely raised again, and finally he came to that familiar place again, the palace wrapped in grey fog. You are here. Hokage Link slowly opened his eyes, and the first thing he saw was those links he was already familiar with. How have you been recently? Hokage Link asked the other links in a familiar manner. Although they can share memories by bumping fists, the link's thoughts are not interoperable. He wanted to hear the other link's subjective feelings about their own world. Qianlong's adventures. Link, it's not bad at all. Some of my magic has been quite effective. But the stingy Saint Lord seems to have some bad intentions towards me. I guess he will destroy my bridges after crossing the river. Pirate Link, alas. My hockey training is progressing slowly. There's nothing I can do. I'm not a cheater like Luffy after all. Hunter x Hunter. Link, I recently had a fight with the group in the Ukexin City chapter and took Xiaodi away by force. Later, Kurapika seemed to have killed several members of the group. The links' chat was a little messy, but they basically understood each other's meaning. In short, after sharing their talents, the links have basically gotten rid of the plight of the bottom and started to develop towards a better life. After a simple round of communication, Naruto Link looked at the trembling panda in the palace and asked curiously, so who is this? It's okay, just bump your fists and it will be clear. Pirate Link took the lead in extending his hand, and everyone bumped their fists with each other. In an instant, the links' memories were connected. They also knew what kind of world the new panda came from. It's actually Kung Fu Panda. This is a relatively easy world among us. Hunter x Hunter. Link couldn't help but sigh. The most important thing is that I have good physical fitness. I may not have good attack power, but the panda physique in Kung Fu Panda is so meaty that I can feel that my physical fitness has improved a lot. Pirate Link's mouth slightly raised. Kung Fu Panda. Link, it should be because I can eat more and have more meat. Now the record of eating a bun in one bite in Peace Valley is refreshed by me and Pa in turn. It's a pity that I haven't started learning Kung Fu yet. Shenlong's adventure. Link laughed and said, "It's okay, you have helped us a lot. If the Jade Palace is unwilling to accept you, then I can get you some kung fu from my world." Chapter 53 Holy Lord, Despicable Link, where is my talisman? You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Shenlong Adventure World, Black Hand Building. Wallen, where is my talisman? You don't want the Golden Rooster King's treasure anymore. That the Lord of the Bronze Dragon statue looked at the white-haired man in the suit in front of him with flashing eyes, his eyes flashing dangerous red light. Since Link helped him retrieve the snake talisman and the dragon talisman last time, Valen and Link's group seemed to have become lazy all of a sudden. This made the Lord extremely angry. These guys are playing badly here. So how can he be resurrected? The Lord wanted to say to Valen, "I have the Golden Rooster King's treasure. If you don't want to do it, there are many people who want to do it." But he couldn't say it, because the Black Hand Gang led by Valen has a pretty good record. This is the fastest speed of collecting talismans since the Lord turned into a statue. In just a few months, the Black Hand Gang and Link helped it collect almost half of the talismans. Such a capable assistant, it really couldn't bear to curse. He had to use the Golden Rooster King's treasure to tempt the money-hungry Valen to help him do his work. The Golden Rooster King's treasure is only square root 8. Hearing the Lord's bewitching words, Valen sneered in his heart. Perhaps before he met Link, he might have been moved when he heard this, and then he would happily help the Lord do things. But after meeting Link, the mere Golden Rooster King's treasure could hardly cause any ripples in his heart. The Black Hand Gang now relies solely on the green beard gloves to steal a whole glove of gold and silver treasures from the rich people in the United States every day. It's already a bit embarrassing to make money. Not to mention that they have also opened a technology company. The Handmade Masters Hanbing Trio are the chief scientists, making all kinds of high-tech engineering machinery with their bare hands and selling them. Including but not limited to submarines, robots, rockets, etc. Now the Black Hand Gang makes money faster than the printing press. Even their old rival District 13 has come to buy the high-tech engineering machinery produced by their company. In this case, the invisible and intangible Golden Rooster King treasure, like a mirage, really has no appeal to Valen. A broken statue has so many problems. If it weren't for Mr. Link's request, I would have kicked you, a broken statue, off the Black Hand Building. Valen cursed fiercely in his heart. Although he had already cursed the Holy Lord 10,000 times in his heart, he still looked respectful on the surface. "There's no way, Holy Lord. Mr. Link has been practicing magic recently and has no time to come to help. You also know the strength of Jackie Chan and others. Without Mr. Link's help, even with your Black Shadow Core, we can't beat Shenlong and others." Valen said innocently. In fact, during this period, their Black Hand Gang was looking for dark creatures for Link according to Link's request, and did not look for talismans. It's just that this matter can't be told to the petty guy of the Holy Lord. Link. The Lord's voice rose, sounding a little angry. "Go and call Link to me." "No need to call, I'll come by myself." As soon as the Lord's voice fell, a lazy and casual voice came into its ears. The Lord looked in the direction of the sound source, and saw Link slowly walking in from the gate. The Lord's stone eyes rolled, and he said in his classic cold voice, "Link. Why don't you help me find the talisman?" "My good master, isn't it because you cheated me?" Listening to the Lord's reproachful words, Link was not afraid, but threw a book in front of the Lord. "I ask you why I can't learn the energy magic corresponding to the dragon talisman according to the practice method you gave me. Did you give me a fake?" Hearing Link's question, the Lord's pupils shrank, and the statue trembled. After a while, he said in a very gentle tone, "My good disciple, how could I lie to you? As everyone knows, I am the most trustworthy. The energy magic corresponding to this dragon spell is one of the original magics of our 8 demons, and it is naturally more difficult to learn than other magics." Hearing the words of the Holy Lord, Link's mouth slightly raised. "Oh, really? According to our previous agreement, I will only give you the spell if I really learn magic, but now, Master, you haven't taught me energy magic yet." Link squinted and looked at the Holy Lord. Seeing Link's expression, the Holy Lord suddenly felt a chill, as if he had some kind of ominous premonition. "So, what do you want to say?" "Of course, according to the contract, Master Saint, you have to help me learn energy magic." Link looked at the Holy Lord with a smile on his face. Since it is your original magic, you should be able to learn it by pointing to your dragon teeth, right? What? Hearing this, the Holy Lord's heart skipped a beat. This brat wants his dragon teeth. Isn't that the same as wanting his life? You have to know that those dragon teeth are his means of resurrection, and contain a lot of original energy. Every missing one will have a huge impact on his strength after resurrection. Impossible. I can't give you my dragon teeth, that the Holy Lord refused without even thinking. But Master Holy Lord, everyone knows that you are the most honest. Since you said you would help me learn energy magic, you won't regret it, right? And if I can't learn energy magic, I won't be in the mood to help you find the talisman. Link said with a dead pig fearless look. You stinky brat. Seeing Link's look, the Holy Lord was furious. The pig talisman flickered, and the red eyes glowed, as if he was going to attack Link. But in the end, he still didn't aim the laser eye at Link, but just fired it at the ground next to him to vent his anger. After so many battles with the righteous camp, the Holy Lord also found that only Link could bring him the talisman. So, he had to agree to Link's request. Okay, I promise you. The Black Shadow Ninja will send the dragon tooth to your room later. The Lord said coldly. Using the 12 spells to resurrect is the best of all his resurrection methods, and the strength after resurrection is also the strongest, so it must be guaranteed first. As for the method of using dragon teeth to resurrect, he still has a few dragon teeth left anyway. Even if there is one less dragon tooth, his strength will be lower after resurrection, which is not a big problem, but even so, the Lord's heart is still full of anger. Damn Link, this hatred can no longer be settled by being an ordinary slave. When I am resurrected, I must arrange the hardest and most tiring work for this damn kid. I have to work at least 16 hours a day before I can rest, so that I can relieve the hatred in my heart. That the Lord gnashed his teeth in his heart, but at this moment, he relied on Link to find the spell, and finally had to swallow his anger and give his precious dragon teeth to the other party. He will only wait until he is resurrected before making Link pay the price he deserves. Chapter 54 Link, before you are ready to cross the river and destroy the bridge, I have already crossed. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. In a luxurious room in the Black Hand building, Link sat cross-legged on the ground, playing with the dragon tooth that had been cleaned in his hand, his face filled with the joy of a good harvest. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it. I really got it. The stingy Saint Lord actually gave me his dragon tooth. Link said with joy. Originally, he went to the Saint Lord under the pretext of learning energy magic. His expectation was just to get a few more dragon scales, but he didn't expect to get a dragon tooth. With this dragon tooth containing a trace of the Saint Lord's origin, it would be easy for him to learn the Saint Lord's original energy magic next. It's just that with the Saint Lord's personality, I asked for his dragon tooth for resurrection in this way. I'm afraid it's already thinking about how to deal with me after resurrection. Link thought silently. The price required to ask for the dragon tooth was considered by Link long before he went to the Saint Lord, so he didn't regret it. In Link's opinion, the energy magic corresponding to the dragon spell is one of the top 3 most important magics among the 12 spells. If he cannot cultivate this magic, it would be impossible for him to support the magic power consumption corresponding to the 12 spells in the future. Therefore, even if he has to take the risk of being targeted by the Holy Lord after his resurrection, Link still chooses to ask for the dragon tooth in this way. However, since we already know that the Holy Lord wants to deal with me, it's time for me to make some preparations next. Link muttered to himself. As the only 8 demons in the world today, the Holy Lord is undoubtedly the leader of the current Black Gas camp. Before this, the positive energy has suppressed the black energy for a long time, and now the black energy wants to suppress the positive energy, so it naturally chooses to invest in the Holy Lord. At this moment, Link can see that the black energy floating in the air is pouring into the body of the Holy Lord. This also shows that the resurrection of the Holy Lord this time is a foregone conclusion. If he wants to survive this crisis safely, he must find a way to make multiple preparations. He must cross the river and destroy the bridge before the Holy Lord is ready to cross the river and destroy the bridge. San Francisco, Daddy's antique shop. An old man is searching back and forth on the bookshelf. Oh, I can't find a way to seal the Holy Lord. One more thing, Chen Long, can you always hang around in front of Daddy? You are hindering Daddy from looking up ancient books. Daddy, who has been unable to find a way to seal the Holy Lord, hit Qianlong's forehead with a sword finger, making a crisp sound. Ah, it hurts, Qianlong cried out in pain, then he covered his forehead, which was aching slightly, and continued. But Daddy, didn't I get the sheep talisman before the Black Hand gang? Without enough talismans, the Holy Lord can't be resurrected, right? Unlike Daddy's sad face, Qianlong only felt that his actions were going smoothly recently. When he was looking for the sheep talisman, the people of the Black Hand gang neither appeared to compete with him for the talisman, nor did they come to attack him after he got the talisman. At least 2 talismans, the chicken talisman and the sheep talisman, have been collected in District 13, in Qianlong's opinion, as long as he collects the talismans and places them in the safest District 13, the people of the Black Hand gang cannot collect the talismans no matter what, and the Holy Lord will naturally not be able to revive. He doesn't understand what his father is worried about at all. Oh, how many times do you want your father to say it? The talisman is not important, what is important is to find a way to seal the Holy Lord. The father said angrily like an old goat with hair standing on end. As an elite mage in the righteous camp, the father can feel the changes in the strength of the righteous and black air in this world. In recent times, the black air has shown a tendency to overshadow the righteous. Under this situation, the resurrection of the Holy Lord has almost become inevitable. Qianlong may be able to delay the timing of the Holy Lord's resurrection by finding the talisman, but it cannot really solve the problem. This is why he is so eager to find a way to seal the Holy Lord. Since you want to find a way to seal the Lord, why don't you just ask the person who sealed the Lord? That at this moment, an old and evil voice came from the door of the antique shop. The old man and Qianlong stopped arguing instantly, and looked at the door of the antique shop in unison. An old man with the vicissitudes of life and bandages on his right eye and right arm stood in front of the antique shop. Old man, do you need any help? Qianlong saw that the old man looked disabled but determined, and just wanted to help him, but was stopped by the old man. Who are you? The old man asked vigilantly. Unlike Qianlong, who was a mortal, as a mage, he could feel a black air from the other party, and from the face, the old man could tell at a glance that the man was not a good person. Ha ha ha, just call me Danzo. The old man who called himself Danzo slowly said, if I'm not mistaken, you were just discussing how to seal the Holy Lord, right? Do you have a way to seal the Holy Lord? Hearing this, the old man's eyes flashed with a gleam of light. As far as he knew, the Black Chi camp was not a solid block. Perhaps the person in front of him was a Black Chi wizard who did not want the Holy Lord to be resurrected, and could provide him with a way to seal the Holy Lord. That's not the case. This ancient spell is not something that a half-baked person like me can master. Danzo shook his head, but a smile appeared on his lips. However, I know who has mastered this magic. Dad, who? Danzo, Saint Lope who sealed the Holy Lord back then. Is it possible that Mr. Lopez, who sealed the Holy Lord, is still alive today? After hearing Danzo's words, Qianlong's eyes suddenly lit up. Old sir, do you know where he is now? Ha ha ha. Of course Lope is gone, but his statue still exists in the world. As for how to make the statue move, let me give you a hint, mouse. Danzo said with a smile. When he heard Danzo's words, his father's eyes flashed with light, and he instantly understood what he meant. Rat? You mean that the power of the rat talisman can make Lope's statue come alive? And then you want Lope to tell me personally how to seal the Holy Lord? Danzo smiled and said, yes, that ancient magic is not only easy to use, but also safe. Anyway, it's definitely better than the magic spell you plan to use that can extract the talisman from the body of the Holy Lord. He actually knows what kind of magic I have. Dad couldn't help but thump. You know, his antique shop has cast righteous magic. Even if Dao Long, the most powerful black energy wizard in the contemporary era, wants to use black energy magic to check the situation of their antique shop, he will be aware of it, and he will be able to cast a magic spell to counter it. But the black energy wizard in front of him was able to detect the magic he controlled while bypassing his own righteous energy magic. That means that this guy named Danzo is definitely not an ordinary black energy wizard. Ask for free follow-up reading and recommendation tickets. Chapter 55 Link's Plan to Trick the Holy Lord. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Dad's antique shop, looking at his father who was still in shock, Qianlong whispered from the side, "Dad, Mr. Danzo has left. Dad is not stupid yet. Dad is just thinking about things. That guy named Danzo doesn't seem like a good person." Dad hit Qianlong on the head with his sword finger again. His expression was still indescribably solemn, although the black spirit wizard named Danzo came to tell him how to reseal the Holy Lord, but Dad always felt that the other party had ulterior motives. "Dad, it seems we have no other way, right?" Qianlong covered his forehead in pain and said cautiously, "In that case, let's give it a try first." In his opinion, the talisman was their goal anyway. Now it's just a matter of looking for one more statue of Lopez, which is not too much trouble. "Qianlong, you finally got it right this time." After hearing this, the father raised his eyebrows, thinking about it this way, "It does seem that I think too much. Even if Danzo is untrustworthy, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with what he said. After all, the other party did not personally provide the sealing method. Instead, let them find the rat talisman to resurrect the Saint Lope who sealed the Holy Lord. In this case, this sealing method should not be fake. They need to pay attention to 2 points now. Point 1, the rat talisman must be found as soon as possible to avoid falling into the hands of the Black Hand. The second point, find Lope's statue as soon as possible. Qianlong, go find me a talisman quickly. The rat talisman is very important, and you must not let it fall into the hands of the evil gang. Thinking of this, Dad said loudly to Qianlong. And he himself planned to strengthen the righteousness magic in the antique shop again to avoid being spied on by the guy named Danzo again. Not only that, in order to prevent them from attacking Qianlong and Xiaoyu, at that time, he also planned to draw some practical talismans for the two of them to carry with them to protect their safety. "But Dad, you haven't helped configure the magic of the locating rat spell." Listening to his father's roar, Qianlong said a little aggrievedly, "He is just a mortal. It is impossible for just one person to casually find clues to the spell, right? Uncle Long, why don't you ask me?" As soon as Qianlong finished speaking, a petite and cute figure suddenly appeared behind him. Qianlong obviously didn't expect it, and he was immediately shocked. "Xiaoyu, why are you here? Have you finished your homework?" Seeing the elusive Xiaoyu, Qianlong patted his chest and quickly took a breath. "Please, Uncle Long, do you think that a beautiful elementary school student can give me a hard time with my homework?" Xiaoyu pouted. She didn't like the feeling that Qianlong always treated her like a child. If she doesn't do her homework, it's because she doesn't want to. The amount of homework in Mimi country was not even 1/5 of that in her school in Xiangjiang. She finished it in just a few seconds. "After you finish your homework, you can also preview the subsequent homework." "Wait, what is this?" Before Qianlong could finish speaking, the next second he was pulled to the computer by Xiaoyu. The screen of the monitor lists the basic information of all the auction items in the afternoon auction. Among the pile of auction items, a porcelain lamp holder was printed with the rat charm they had been thinking about. "Uncle Long, do you think this is a mouse?" Xiaoyu said with a bright smile. This was the location of the spell she accidentally discovered when she just wanted to check out the Nomi men's nemesis, the turbot monster. "It's true. Xiaoyu, you are of great help now." Qianlong looked shocked when he saw the talisman inlaid on the porcelain lamp holder. After partially enlarging it, he just wanted to ask his father to use the location magic of the rat talisman to find the rat talisman. Unexpectedly, Xiaoyu just casually browsed the shopping website and found traces of the rat charm. Could it be that this is fate? "Xiaoyu, you stay here with Dad, I'll go to the auction site to have a look, and I'll be back soon." After saying that, Qianlong walked out quickly, stopped a taxi and rushed to the auction site. Black Hand Building, Wallen Office. Link, who had returned to his own appearance, looked relaxed. He had just revealed the news about the rat talisman and Lope statue to his father as Danzo. Although in the original work, Dad easily defeated the Holy Lord by relying on a magic that could be attached to his hand and directly take out the spell from the Holy Lord's body, but now the plot has shifted somewhat, and Link is not sure whether the resurrected Holy Lord this time is as stupid as the original. In the original work, the Holy Lord could obviously get rid of Qianlong and his gang first. But he just wanted to return to his palace to release the evil dragon. giving Qianlong and others time to prepare for no reason. Not only that, it even knew that Qianlong had the ability to take away the talisman from its body, but it did not use the chicken talisman to fly into the air. Instead, it wanted to engage in close combat with Qianlong, and in the end, he took away the most important mouse. It can only be said that the Holy Lord in the original book lost the game that was a sure win to Lang. And whether the Holy Lord will still be like this in this world, Link doesn't dare to guarantee it. What if the Holy Lord's brain recovers? Could it be that he was just waiting to die? Therefore, for the sake of his own safety, he chose to inform his father about the news about Lope and the rat talisman, giving him an extra layer of insurance for his future. As long as Daddy has mastered the magic that can directly transform the Holy Lord into a statue, then even if the resurrected Holy Lord is smarter and more cautious than the original, he can't escape Daddy's 5 Fingers Mountain. After all, in this world, the principle of mutual generation and mutual restraint of all things is fully demonstrated. Even the 8 demons as strong as the Holy Lord will be defeated without any resistance once they find a way to restrain them. He doesn't need to face the Holy Lord who was tricked by him. And according to the plot, when the Holy Lord's body is shattered by Xiaoyu, I should be able to get a part of the black air. Link said to himself, some time ago, he asked Valen to help find dark creatures. It was to test whether killing dark creatures could get the black air from the other party. The final answer is yes, it's just that the distribution ratio is distributed by the black air, not that killing the other party can occupy all, but in any case, this should be a considerable benefit for Link. You have to know that the Holy Lord is the leader of the Black Chi camp, and the share of Black Chi he occupies is so huge that he can't even imagine it. Theoretically, he only needs to get a small part of the Black Chi that the Holy Lord originally occupied, and he can push his magic attainments to the level of a great wizard, and it will be no problem to be on par with Daolong. Then execute according to the original plan. I have to remind Wallen and others first, when the Holy Lord asks them to help fight for the rat talisman, they have to let Qianlong get the rat talisman. Chapter 56 Energy Magic Practice. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wallen, you have to send someone to fight for the rat spell, but you can't get it. Just do it for the Holy Lord, and then give the rat spell to Qianlong. As for the remaining spells, please take care of them. These spells are what I need. Inside the Black Hand building, Link instructed Valen, who was wearing a green haute couture suit. Mr. Link, no problem, Wallen said respectfully. To be honest, I have long disliked that Saint Lord. My family's fortune for several generations has been lost in the stone statue. If it weren't for your help, I'm afraid I would go bankrupt in the future, and I can only work as a school bus driver to survive. If you need anything, just tell me. Now we have 12 spells. We have obtained cows, pigs, rabbits, snakes, and dragons. Qianlong has obtained chickens and sheep. Now they should be looking for rats. The remaining horses, dogs, monkeys, and tigers are in your trouble. If you perform well enough, the green beard gloves will belong to you in the future. Link said slowly. Hearing this, Valen's eyes lit up. He has seen the ability of the green beard gloves clearly during this period. Although Link gave it to him before, he asked the green beard gloves to help the Black Hand gang accumulate wealth, but that thing is not his after all, and he might take it back one day. Now that Link said that as long as he performs well, he can directly give him this magic item. Now Valen is full of energy. He plans to go out himself and lead the team to find the talisman. Don't worry, Mr. Link, I'll take care of all this. Come on. Link comforted him. As an elite black wizard, the green beard glove has been in his hands for such a long time, and he has already figured out the magic contained in it. As long as Link wants to do it, he can refine a pair of red beard gloves and blue beard gloves at any time, but compared to the magic gloves, Link judged based on the future development of his previous life that if he wants to make money, he has to be the technology company in which he holds the majority of the shares. When the technology company is on the right track, the money earned by the green beard gloves will be a drop in the ocean. After arranging the task for Valen, Link left the Black Hand building without stopping and came to the magic room he built. Then he took out the dragon tooth of the Holy Lord, the crucible, the insect specimens and various fluorescent plants, and prepared to prepare the potion. the energy magic corresponding to the dragon spell is the original magic of the Holy Lord. This original magic must absorb a trace of the other party's original energy to learn and master it. If ordinary people absorb the original energy of the devil without any preparation, the change in appearance is considered light. More importantly, their consciousness will be affected by the original energy of the devil, the violent and destructive side of their personality will be magnified, and even their brains will become unusable. Although Link wants to become stronger, he doesn't want to pay such a price. Therefore, this dragon tooth material must be properly handled. Dragon tooth, scarab specimen, fluorescent mushrooms in the cemetery. As Link threw the mysterious materials into the crucible one by one, he muttered something in his mouth, and the water in the crucible continued to boil and emit a deep purple light. In this way, 3 hours passed slowly, and the tube of reagent in front of Link that emitted an evil purple light couldn't help swallowing his saliva. He dared to guarantee that his potion configuration was fine, but wasn't the appearance of this thing a bit too bad? Don't smell it, just swallow it. Link gritted his teeth, closed his eyes, and drank the potion in his hand in one gulp. Ah! Such a bitter, strange taste. It must be said that the taste of this potion is indeed hard to describe, but the effect is indeed excellent. Not long after taking the potion, Link felt that his body seemed to have changed. Even if Link didn't need to practice, the surrounding energy automatically poured in and gathered into a ball in his body. His mana was automatically growing all the time. Is this the energy magic corresponding to the dragon spell? Feeling the changes in his body, Link couldn't help but exclaimed, according to this growth rate, if his mana growth rate was replaced with chakra, the growth in that year is almost equivalent to half a tailed beast. And Link can feel that there is no upper limit to this growth. Theoretically, as long as he lives long enough, he should be able to have endless energy like the 8 demons such as the Holy Lord in the future. Perfect. Next, just collect all the other spells and exchange them for the corresponding spell magic. Then it won't be too much to call yourself a little saint. I just don't know how Valen is doing. Auction. Sold for 200 yuan. The next item is a porcelain lamp with a mouse pattern. It's unusual. The host with a goatee introduced it in a rhythmic way. Valen and Qianlong were sitting in the audience, and they looked at each other. Anyone bid? Qianlong shouted, I'll bid 100. Huh, Qianlong, you want to compete with me for this little money? After hearing this, Valen sneered, 1,000. Damn Valen, you're really rich. I'll bid 2,000. Qianlong shouted with gritted teeth. That's it. I'll pay you 10,000 meters gold. Qianlong, if you can, just keep raising the price. Valen said proudly, since hanging out with Link, his waist and legs no longer hurt, and he can even bid with confidence. A mere archaeologist wants to be richer than him. The damn Black Hand gang, they are too rich. Qianlong looked at Wolong with a sigh on his face and did not choose to continue bidding. It's not that he has no money, it's mainly because Valen is too rich and he can't compete no matter what. Qianlong has already planned to wait for the Black Hand gang to auction off the rat talisman, and then go find the other party to use to borrow it and return it immediately. Although this goes against what his father usually taught him, he can't just watch the rat talisman fall into the hands of the Black Hand gang, right? 10,000 meters gold deal. As the auctioneer's voice fell, the porcelain lamp was delivered to Valen's hands. Goodbye, Qianlong. Wolong glanced at Qianlong with a hint of provocation. It was really satisfying to be able to defeat his old rival, but he didn't forget Link's instructions. Although it would be a bit messy, the rat charm still needed to be delivered to Qianlong in a reasonable way. Ever since, Wolong took a deep look at Qianlong after getting the rat talisman, and then left the scene directly. At this moment, when Qianlong saw Wolong leaving, he immediately followed him. Immediately, a fierce conflict broke out between the two sides. In the end, Qianlong borrowed the porcelain lamp from Wolong while saying sorry, I will send you a check for 10,000 meters of gold. Chapter 57 Horse Spell. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. The top floor of the Black Hand building, the Holy Lord was enjoying the service of the professional statue cleaner hired by Valen, happily washing the dust off his body, and turned around to hear Valen reporting bad news to him. Holy Lord, things are not good, the rat talisman was taken away by Qianlong. What? The rat talisman was actually taken away by that damn Qianlong. Hearing this news, the Holy Lord was like being struck by a bolt from the blue, and his originally grey body seemed to become even greyer. Valen, who was beside him, also heard a hint of crying in his voice. However, in Valen's opinion, it was normal for the Holy Lord to cry. After all, it had been hundreds of years since Lopez turned him into a statue pendant like this. Finally, he had a chance to be resurrected, but he learned that the most important rat had been stolen by Qianlong. Now that there was no hope of resurrection, the Holy Lord could not accept it all of a sudden, and it was normal for his mentality to collapse. "Damn Qianlong, I will make you pay," that the Lord roared, and flames were brewing in his mouth. At this moment, in the Lord's heart, he had already adjusted Qianlong's hatred to the same level as Link. One of these two people took away his most important rat spell, and the other one betrayed his dragon tooth, if it has the opportunity to revive and rule Asia again in the future. It will make these two guys work for it 16 hours a day to relieve its hatred. Ahem, Lord. I still need to help you find the rest of the spells. I'm leaving first. Looking at the Lord, who was furious and even a little emotionally broken, Valen found a reason to start running as soon as possible. The rat spell was taken away because he did it deliberately according to Link's instructions. He didn't want to reveal any flaws in front of the Lord. If the other party knew that he deliberately gave the rat spell to Qianlong, he would be roasted dry by his dragon fire. What's more, Link had just given him an order, that is to give a sum of money to the curator of the museum where the Lope statue is located, and ask him to wait for the call from Dad, and lend the Lope statue to the two. This is the request of Link's real sponsor, and it must be executed first. Dad's antique shop. "Dad, I brought back the rat spell." Qianlong walked in excitedly and handed the rat spell to Dad. The operation process of this trip to the rat spell was indeed a bit ups and downs, but the result was generally good, although he also sent a check of 10,000 miles gold to Valen. As long as he got this most critical rat spell, it would not be a loss. "Well done, Qianlong. I have contacted the museum and asked them to lend us the Lope statue tomorrow." Dad also smiled gently. He didn't expect things to go so smoothly. He just made a phone call to the curator of the museum, and the other party not only expressed his willingness to lend them the Lope statue, he even gave them a door-to-door service, and the Lope statue would be delivered directly to the antique shop tomorrow morning. Daddy didn't feel strange about the hospitality of the museum director. After all, Qianlong is a world-class archaeologist, and he often helps the museum get some precious exhibits. As time goes by, their antique shop has a certain personal relationship with most of the museums in the United States. With their face, it is not difficult to borrow a Lope statue. One more thing, when the Lope statue is delivered tomorrow, you and Xiaoyu are not allowed to go out. After praising Qianlong, Daddy reminded Qianlong and Xiaoyu beside him. Qianlong asked, "Okay. But why, Daddy?" "Great. I don't need to go to school tomorrow." Xiaoyu didn't care why, but was happy that she didn't have to go to school tomorrow. "I'm afraid that when the Lope statue is delivered tomorrow, the guy named Danzo may cause trouble," Daddy said very seriously. Ever since he looked at Danzo last time, he felt a sense of danger on that guy. Judging from the amount of black energy on him, the other party is at least an elite-level black energy wizard. Why did such a black chi wizard get the method to seal the Lord and tell him? What is the trap inside? Dad didn't know either. Anyway, it's better to be safe than sorry. Only by letting Qianlong and Xiaoyu by his side can he better protect them from the harm of the black chi wizard. Black Hand Building. Ah. Can the Lope statue be delivered to Dad's antique shop tomorrow? Link listened to Valen's report on the rat spell and the Lope statue, and said indifferently, "It doesn't matter. Anyway, I have to wait until I find all the remaining spells before I can get the most critical rat." According to Link's plan, the rat must be given to the Lord last. After all, if the rat spell is given to the Lord first, Link doesn't know whether the other party will choose to resurrect in advance. Once the Lord is resurrected in advance, then with the other party's personality, even if I really help him find the spell, I'm afraid that the resurrected Lord will directly say a famous line: "It is well known that I am not honest," and then cross the river and demolish the bridge. Therefore, in order to avoid this situation, Link had no choice but to drain the Holy Lord before he crossed the river and destroyed the bridge. What about the rest of the spells? After asking about the rat talisman, Link asked next, he was quite reassured by the operational efficiency of the Black Hand Gang and others. Maybe they seemed a little dumb when facing Qianlong. But under normal circumstances, they are all elites of the Black Hand Gang, and their ability to act is trustworthy. Mr. Link, we have discovered the horse talisman from the Snow Mountain area, and Toru and the others are returning quickly. Valen said proudly. Horse talisman. This is a good treasure. We don't even need to give it to the Holy Master so quickly. We can use it ourselves first. After hearing Valen's words, Link's eyes lit up. In Link's opinion, the ability of the horse talisman is also in the first echelon of the 12 talismans. It has the ability to remove external forces acting on itself and restore objects to their original state, in addition to curing diseases. In the original novel, Xiaoyu even cast a horse charm to restore the statue of Lope that she knocked down. From this point of view, with the horse talisman, their technology company can also receive new business, professional repair of submarines, robots, rockets, tanks, aircraft carriers and more. I'm afraid this money is not easily around 1 million meters. As for whether to use the horse talisman to treat the world's top rich people to make money, Link has no idea. Maybe someday this way will expose the existence of the spell to the other party. It is unknown whether those rich people will take any measures to seize the talisman from Link. In short, Link would not choose such a dangerous method to make money. Please ask for free follow-up reading and recommendation tickets. Thank you. Chapter 58 Holy Lord, Lopez is resurrected. Link, come and save me. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. The next day, early morning, Dad's antique shop, Lopez's statue was delivered to the door of the store early in the morning. At this moment, Dad is also fully armed, with a lizard in his left hand and a blowfish in his right hand, as if he is facing a formidable enemy. Dad, why are you dressed like this? Didn't Mr. Danzo say that Lope was the original saint? Saint Seiyas are good guys after all, right? Qianlong asked while yawning. Last night, in order to reward Xiaoyu for finding traces of the rat talisman, he went to the supermarket overnight and bought the T-Bow monster and super moose that Xiaoyu had longed for. Since the rat charm would be used the next day, Qianlong did not send the rat charm to District 13. As a result, Xiaoyu, a child, secretly took away the rat charm and resurrected the strange T-Bow toy. Then he had no choice but to stop the turbot monster and get the rat talisman back. In the end, he tried his best, and with Xiaoyu's help, he recovered the T-Bow monster and retrieved the rat talisman. By the time the two returned to the antique store, it was already 4 o'clock in the morning. Originally, Qianlong wanted to catch up on his sleep, but before he had slept for 3 hours, his father woke him up. Oh, are you educating Dad? As the father spoke, his skinny arm passed through the air, and he hit Qianlong on the head with his sword. Ouch! Qianlong's forehead quickly became red and swollen. The familiar pain made Qianlong decisively close his mouth and look at his father with aggrieved eyes. Ming complains about his old bones all day long, but he always looks lively when beating himself up and doing magic research. Qianlong even felt that his father's body and bones should be better than many agents from District 13. Okay, Qianlong, hurry up and put the rat charm into Lope's statue. After educating the brats who dared to talk back to him, Dad slowly spoke. In fact, he didn't sleep last night either. He set up righteous magic traps around the antique shop to prevent the arrival of the black chi wizard named Danzo. But based on the fact that the black magic wizard could accurately know the magic he had mastered before, Dad didn't know whether the righteous magic he had deployed could stop the opponent. The best thing to do now is to resurrect Lope as soon as possible and ask about the method of sealing the Holy Lord. Clear. Qianlong took a deep breath and stuffed the rat charm into the statue of Lope according to his father's instructions. The next moment, there was a flash of light. Lope's clay statues gradually take on color and life. Where am I? Lope looked around confusedly. The surrounding environment was completely different from the scene in his memory. This is the real world. How does it feel? Xiaoyu said with a smile. For some reason, she always felt a familiar feeling on Lope's body. It's like they're all the same kind of people. Mr. Lopez, this is 900 years after your death. You are actually just a statue. We resurrected you through the rat charm. Qianlong said while tapping Luopei's chest. I saw a mouse on his chest, which was emitting a little light. The rat talisman, the power to turn silence into movement. Why does it appear here? Just like a beautiful lion scattering its seeds in all directions, so I hide my charms in every corner of the world. How did you find the spell? Is it possible that you guys are related to the Holy Lord? Lope asked with a serious face. He did not directly choose to believe Jackie Chan and others. Back then, he stripped off the Holy Lord's core magic and turned it into talismans, and scattered the talismans throughout the world, in order to prevent the talisman from being discovered. Now the talisman appears again. Then he had to consider collecting the rest of the talismans and personally protecting the talismans from being taken back by the Holy Lord. Oh, Lope. We are not from the Holy Lord, Dad shouted anxiously. As a former Saint Seiya, you should be able to feel the current situation. The current situation, Lope frowned, and the next second his eyes turned white, and then he looked at the sky. After observing for a while, he showed an ugly expression. I didn't expect the black energy to be so strong. It seems that the Holy Lord will definitely be resurrected before the new year, Lope said extremely seriously. His magical attainments are no worse than his father's, and it is natural for him to observe the situation of righteousness and blackness in the world. With the current intensity of the black energy, the resurrection of the Holy Lord is almost inevitable, and even he cannot stop it. Mr. Lopez, the resurrection of the Holy Lord is inevitable. This is why we resurrect you. We need your help. Someone told us that you possess a magic that can turn the Holy Lord directly into a statue. I hope you can pass it on to me. Dad said straight to the point. You mean the extraction spell? Sorry, I can't give it to you. What if you are a member of the Holy Lord and later develop a way to counter this kind of magic? Although Lope sensed the righteousness of the father in strange clothes in front of him, he still did not choose to tell his father the extraction spell. After all, Lope had seen a mage who possessed both righteousness and blackness at the same time. Now he still can't completely trust his father and his friends. You don't need to worry about the Lord's affairs. I will protect the talisman from falling into the hands of the evil. No, just as the silkworm can feel the beetle approaching, I can feel the darkness nearby. Lope frowned and looked outside the antique shop. I saw a group of black shadow ninjas appearing outside the antique shop. In addition, a familiar figure appeared in front of them. Time goes back to more than 10 minutes ago. Black Hand Building. No. That Lope is resurrected. At the same time when Shenlong and others used the rat talisman to resurrect Lope, the Lord shouted excitedly, 900 years. It has been 900 years since it turned into this stone statue. After sensing the aura of Lope, the culprit who caused it to become this ghost, it instantly recalled the fear of being dominated by him. If it weren't for the other party, it wouldn't have fallen into such a situation. No, this is not Lope's complete energy. This energy is very weak. It is estimated that Shenlong and his group used the power of the rat spell to revive the statue left by Lope. Damn Shenlong. Is this your plan? Not only did he steal my rat spell, he even used it to revive Lope. I must not let Lope have too much contact with them, otherwise I will die. The red eyes of the Holy Lord flickered, and his eyes were full of fear, but it is undoubtedly a waste to want it to deal with Lope in its current state of stone statue. It seems that the only thing it can count on now is the stinky kid who pits itself every day. Link, come and save your master. Thank you all for your monthly tickets, follow-up reading, and recommendation tickets. Chapter 59 Obtaining the Authority of the Black Shadow Core. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. What's going on? You're making a lot of noise. Hearing the extremely anxious call of the Holy Lord, Link drank soda and ate potato chips before slowly walking in. Link, you are finally here. Seeing Link's careless look, the Holy Master's first feeling was not anger, but rather a sense of security. Not even its red eyes flicker. Although he is a shameless apprentice, his abilities are absolutely reassuring. As long as Link is willing to take action, it won't be a problem to deal with Lope. Master, Holy Master, what's the matter? Link asked knowingly. He had already guessed that Lope's resurrection should have frightened the Holy Lord. Shenlong used the power of the rat charm to resurrect Lope. I need you to kill Lope. Do it to the point where he will never recover. The Holy Lord said fiercely. In terms of the degree of the sealed shadow, the method of sealing his immortal god back then was far less than 1/10 of what Lope used to turn it into a statue. Who knows the pain and fear of being trapped in a stone statue? Because of this, it doesn't want to feel Lope's aura for a minute, so it must be killed immediately. Yes, yes. But killing Lope doesn't seem to be part of our agreement, so Master Holy Master, what benefits are you going to give me to do this? After hearing the anxious words of the Holy Lord, Link still asked calmly, it's okay to help, but Link is not willing to do such useless work. Good disciple, what do you want? That the Holy Lord gritted his teeth and said, the Holy Master had already expected that Link would ask for benefits from him, this kid is more like a devil than the devil he is. I haven't even been resurrected yet, but this brat has already drained all my old clothes, not even a drop is left. Master Holy Master, you don't seem to have any good things left, right? Link thought for a moment. In the original work, it seems that everything belonging to the Holy Lord has been taken away by him. He took away the encyclopedia of black magic, the magic corresponding to the spells, the dragon scales, and even the dragon teeth used for resurrection. For a moment, he really didn't know what else was worth taking from the Holy Master. How about Master Holy Master, tell me yourself if there is anything else you can give me. Link touched his head and said a little embarrassedly. The Holy Lord was furious, but there was nothing he could do. He has something to ask for now. Even if Link urinates on him now, he must endure it. What about the Shadow Core? I can give you a magic that can summon the Shadow Core and avoid its influence on yourself. After thinking for a moment, the Holy Lord gave this condition, it just can't deal with that guy Lope, so it can only rely on Link to find a way, and basically everything on it has been squeezed dry by Link. With the Holy Master's familiarity with Link, ordinary things would not be able to penetrate Link's eyes. The only one who can persuade Link to take action seems to be the Black Shadow Core. Deal. But you have to give it to me first. Otherwise, I'm not sure I can deal with Lopez. Link was stunned for a moment, then quickly agreed to the deal. He never expected that the Holy Master would be willing to give him such a good thing. Okay. The Holy Lord finished speaking. 2 shadow soldiers emerged from the shadow beside it. They held a magic scroll and a shadow mask in their hands respectively, and handed them to Link. Link took the scroll and his eyes suddenly lit up after reading it. The magic of the Holy Lord is indeed not fake, and using this magic can indeed leverage a bit of the power of the mask of the Black Shadow Core. The principle of the magic itself is to give the caster a forged identity similar to the captain of the Black Shadow Soldiers. In this way, you can summon low-level shadow soldiers for your own use. It's a pity that the strength of the shadow soldiers summoned with this level of authority is still slightly inferior. Link thought to himself after reading it. In the original work, summoners with different permissions have different strengths of the shadow soldiers summoned, just like the Shadow Core summoned by Xiaoyu with the Terra Mark and Zhou directly wearing the Ghost General mask. It is obviously more powerful than the Shadow Core summoned by the Holy Lord. The reason is that the two of them have higher authority, one is the Shadow Queen, and the other is the Ghost General. The authority that the Holy Master can obtain by using magic is only the level of a team leader in the Black Shadow Core, so the intensity is naturally not that high. However, from Link's point of view, it's not a big deal. Anyway, the ninja group led by this mask has its own characteristics that are more comprehensive, and combat power is more often a secondary option. They are fast, tireless, and able to travel through the shadows. They can be regarded as very high-quality tools for people to choose. Once he has this part of the Black Shadow Core authority, for some things that are difficult for the Black Hand Gang to handle, Link can leave it to the Black Shadow Core to solve. This is one of the masks of the 9 generals of the Black Shadow Core. As long as you cast the calling magic on this mask, you can obtain some of the permissions of the Black Shadow Core. The Holy Lord said with a somewhat reluctant tone, after imparting the magic of summoning the Shadow Core to Link, it really had nothing good in it. If he encounters any trouble again, the Holy Master will have nothing left to offer Link for help. It's okay. As long as we kill Lopez completely, all the sacrifices will be worth it. When I am resurrected in the future, I will no longer need this stinky brat. I can cross the river and destroy the bridge, and take back everything I lost. The Lord thought to himself, and at the same time raised Link's hatred level by 1 level. Of course, Link didn't know what the Lord was thinking, he only knew that he had made a profit this time. Okay, since Master Saint hates Lopez so much, then I will definitely help you get rid of him as soon as possible. Link smiled lightly, the white mist flashed, and he turned into the appearance of Valen. He planned to go to the headquarters of the Black Hand Gang and get some useful things to arm the ninja group. About 10 minutes later, Link ate hot pot and sang songs with Valen's face on his head, and came to the door of Dad's antique shop in a luxury car, although there was righteous magic. Inside Dad's antique shop, these shadow soldiers would turn into ashes once they approached, but Link didn't intend to let the shadow soldiers get close. He clapped his hands, and a large number of shadow soldiers emerged from the shadows. At this moment, the shadow soldiers were no longer holding cold weapons such as shurikens and long swords, but various hot weapons. There were pistols, rifles, and even RPGs. Isn't this much more useful than some crappy shuriken? Ahem. Link cleared his throat, picked up the loudspeaker in the hands of the shadow soldier next to him, and shouted in the direction of his father's antique shop, "You have been surrounded, put down your weapons and surrender." Chapter 60 Lope's Enlightenment. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Oh, Chen-Long. The Black Hand Gang has surrounded the antique shop, that the old man said in a panic when he saw the black shadow soldiers holding all kinds of modern guns in their hands. He did set up righteous magic in the antique shop, and no dark creatures or the magic creations used by dark creatures could get close to the antique shop. Once a dark creature dared to force its way close, the strong ones might be able to barely hold on, but the weak ones would probably be directly destroyed. The shuriken and other weapons used by the black shadow soldiers before were magic creations used by dark creatures. Once they touched the antique shop, these magic creations would be instantly turned into ashes by the righteous magic. However, this righteous magic is not very effective against these modern guns. Why did the black shadow soldiers start using modern guns as weapons? Wallen, he actually came in person. He also brought so many shadow soldiers with guns, and even RPGs and electric swords. Are they still a gang? Why does this look so much like the firepower configuration of a terrorist organization? Why not make more robots? Looking at Link with a Valen face and the densely packed shadow soldiers holding guns behind him, Chen-Long's pupils shrank suddenly. He is a close friend of the leader of District 13, Sheriff Black, and he knows the power of these weapons very well. He is just an ordinary human being. At most, he can dodge bullets from a few guns, but he has no confidence to dodge such a fierce artillery attack. The evil must be eliminated. Unlike Chen-Long and his father who are modern people, Lope is an old antique from 900 years ago and has no concept of the weapons in the hands of the shadow soldiers. He only knows that the evil has come and he must eliminate it. Gravity Scroll. After Lope finished speaking, he called up the gravity scroll to fly with a fearless look, and rushed directly towards Link and others. However, he was only handsome for 3 seconds. The shadow soldier aimed a rocket at him. There was only a boom, and the next moment Lope's figure fell straight to the ground. Who am I? Where am I? What just happened? Lope touched his dizzy head. His thoughts were in a mess. As an old antique, he now tasted the power of modern technology. If it weren't for the runes on his clothes with good defensive capabilities, I'm afraid this rocket would have sent him to the west. Lope coughed heavily a few times, and just when he wanted to stand up, he was pointed at by an RPG and several AK rifles the next moment. The current extreme evil is so powerful. Lope looked at the weapon in the shadow soldier's hand with some disbelief. The power of the attack just now was not inferior to the dragon flame he used to deal with the evil dragon under the Holy Lord. I didn't expect that I failed. If I were the real Lope, I might be able to resist, but I'm just a clay statue. Lope sighed inwardly. Although he has Lope's abilities and memories, his strength is less than 1/10 of Lope's in his prime. The blow just now has broken his Tau heart. Even if he has the same sense of justice as Lope, his strength has been unable to keep up with the times. Oh. It seems that Dad has to take action. Seeing that Lope, who controls the magic of the sealed saint, was blasted down by a rocket, a trace of magic aura emerged from Dad, and he picked up the dried pufferfish and began to chant. Demons and ghosts, leave quickly. Demons and ghosts, leave quickly. Xiaoyu on the side was cheering for Lope, who was given away for free. Don't be afraid of Lope, the battle is not over yet. Where is your old Saint Seiya spirit? The eye of the tiger will never say never. Ha! It seems that the times today still have the power of righteousness. Sensing the familiar righteousness fluctuations on the old man's body and listening to Xiaoyu's encouragement, Lope took a deep breath. Perhaps now he can really let go and hand over the responsibility of protecting the world to the righteous people of this generation. Thinking of this, he began to fiddle with something in his sleeves. Link on the side noticed Lope's little action, but he did not speak out. Instead, he smiled evilly at the old man. Hey, wait a minute, old man, are you sure that the defensive spell you cast can withstand such fierce artillery fire? I don't think you want Qianlong and Xiaoyu to be hurt, right? Hearing Link's words, the speed of the old man's chanting of the spell suddenly slowed down. At the same time, the flow of righteousness flowing into his body also slowed down. Okay, Qianlong, I came here this time just to kill the guy that the Holy Lord hates the most. I'll leave when I'm done. Link smiled slightly and walked to Lope's side. It is obvious that the guy that the Holy Lord hates the most is Lope. Does the Lord want me to die? Lope looked at Link seriously. Yes. Link nodded. There is nothing to hide. I understand. The Lord wants my life, right? Then I will give it to him. Lope suddenly showed a cunning smile. Before Link could react, what did Lope want to do? He took out the energy scroll and pointed it at himself. Boom. The terrifying energy burst out from the energy scroll and blasted directly to the position of the rat spell on his chest. Crack. The next moment, the rat talisman exploded directly, and a special air flew into the air from it, and Lope's clay body also exploded directly under the terrifying power of the energy scroll. As expected of the Saint Seiya, Lope is really not simple. Link was stunned when he saw this scene. He was actually thinking about how he should solve the problem of the rat talisman, and didn't want the Holy Lord to get the rat talisman so quickly. After all, if the Holy Lord wanted to resurrect by force after getting the rat talisman, then he himself might also suffer, and it would be difficult to get the subsequent 12 talisman magic, and now Lope destroyed the rat talisman at the cost of himself. Now the power of the rat talisman should be the same as the animal chapter in the original book. It will eventually fall into the most noble rat in the world, which can probably delay the resurrection of the Holy Lord for a while. Forget it, since the mission has been completed, I'll say goodbye. Link glanced at the sky in the distance. At this moment, Sheriff Black should have discovered the movement in Dad's antique shop and was coming to support in an armed helicopter. He is not an immortal demon like the Holy Lord, and may not be able to withstand the artillery fire of District 13, so, he waved goodbye to Dad and others, and then let the Black Shadow soldier take him into the ground. Dad, Lope is gone. The magic that can seal the Holy Lord is gone. Seeing Lope turned into ashes and drifted away, Qianlong was a little desperate. Xiaoyu also shed tears. Dad frowned, walked slowly to the ground next to Lope, dug a little, and dug out a stone with miniature ancient characters engraved on it. Lope left the magic, but... Dad looked at the shadow of Link's departure with some confusion, but he said nothing. Thank you all for your rewards, monthly tickets, follow-up reading, and recommendation tickets.